What's going on, everyone? Mike Kadlick, Tayler Kyles here for CLNS Media outside of Gillette Stadium. It is officially game week. The Patriots are getting ready to take on the Las Vegas Raiders this coming Sunday, and we got some more information from head coach Mike Vrabel today about the release of safety Jabrill Peppers. He was cut on Friday, and Vrabel was asked about it today, and while he didn't get into too much, he did mention that it wasn't because he was not a scheme fit. That was something that was kind of hypothesized, if you will, over the last couple of days, but he said that it didn't have to do with the scheme, and that while he didn't get into it, that they had to do what was best for the football team and best for Jabrill Peppers as well, and seemed to wish him well, said that he knows he can still play in this league. So with all the information we know, why did Peppers get released? That's kind of the question right now. What do you make of it? What do you think? And ultimately, if he was potentially able to play in this scheme, why did they do it, and do you think they made the right decision?
Yeah, I don't fully buy into the fact that it wasn't a scheme fit. Now, one thing that's important to note is Mike Vrabel seems to have a different perspective on scheme than a lot of people, because I feel like anytime he brings it up, it's in more of a reductive manner, right? With offense, he's like, oh yeah, we're going to have scheme. There's going to be scheme. But if we're being honest, in this defense, at least based on what we've seen this preseason, safeties have played more sides than they have in past years, where you're saying, okay, Kyle Duggar's more your box guy, Jabrill Peppers is your free safety, and then there's interchangeability around that. This could be a system where, based on the offensive look in the situation, one safety could be doing any number of different jobs. With Jabrill Peppers, I think this has been a thing for a while, but he is not built to cover slot receivers, which is something that we've seen from these safeties. He did have some competitive moments against Demario Douglas, but I think if you're talking about a receiver who can go like deep and have a true three-row release, I don't think that's a great situation for Jabrill Peppers. And he is a relatively small safety. He's not even 6 feet tall. So I've always had issues when he did cover tight ends man-to-man. It very rarely happened. I think Bill Belichick in past defenses had a pretty good idea of the fact that in man, you should probably have him as a hole defender or covering running backs. So I do think there were limitations, and we even saw this preseason. Jabrill Peppers, I know going through the tape, was someone I was expecting to make more plays in the preseason, going up against backups, guys who might be on practice squads are not in the league right now, and he didn't make a ton of plays, also had that bad missed tackle that we've talked about while he was playing as the last line of defense. So I do think that Jabrill Peppers can still be a good player in this league, but I think that his future is more near the box, near the line of scrimmage, and in the slot than it is necessarily being a deep safety.
Yeah, we talked about him getting those sort of last safety reps in that final preseason game when he was playing throughout into the second half, and Vrabel was asked about it and said it was more so getting reps with a guy like Craig Woodson. Now it looks to me like...
I bought it. That's what I thought it was that day.
Yeah, so did I. So did we. And then it turns out it was more so kind of a depth chart thing where Woodson started to pass him. Jalen Hawkins has already been in that mix. So it looks like Hawkins, Woodson are the Patriots starting two safeties. And to me, this reads as Peppers understood that, okay, I'm not going to start here. Let's get out of here. I want my release, and I think the Patriots granted it to him. I don't think it was necessarily an ugly breakup, but the fact that it wasn't only a scheme fit and the fact that he did make the 53-man roster and then was released after tells me that he probably has to be out of here. But now they move forward with Craig Woodson, with Jalen Hawkins as their starting safeties, and Kyle Duggar's still on the team as well, so they kind of get ready to go in that
and
rotation.
Del Pettis got a shout-out too today.
As well, that is very true. So we'll see what happens in the back end of that Patriots defense again as they get ready to take on the Las Vegas Raiders this coming Sunday. We'll be here in Foxboro, so make sure you rate, review, and subscribe here to Patriots Press Times for all the latest out of New England. CLNS Media is powered by Prize Picks, the best place to get in on the action, even throughout the summer. There is still baseball, there's women's basketball, and Taylor, we are right on the cusp of football season. So if you want to get in on the action, head over to Prize Picks. Use code CLNS. You get $50 instantly after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, run your game.